everybody, welcome back to Botania. So, I have been having very heavy audio issues, but the series is back, and today we're going to be going over the wands. So, I've put in a couple of wands here that we will be going over. These are all the wands here. We have them all lined up here, and we will be going over all of them and what they do and how to use them. However, first thing I should tell you to do is to make one of these mana tablets, and to do this you're just going to need living rock followed by any mana item. It could be a mana diamond, a mana pearl, anything like that, and you're going to need to fill it up. So to fill this up, I don't know if you can use the creative one to fill it up. Actually, I'm gonna use one of these ones over here. So to fill this up, you're just gonna drop into a mana pool. It won't despawn if you leave it in here, and it's just gonna suck the mana out of it. So let's find a source that has... I sucked all the mana out of that one. What about you? Yep. So that's sucking in the mana. You have to have a good source of mana in order to be able to like suck these all down. So that looks like it was the only one that had all the good mana in it, and I think I just transported it to a different pool. Anyway, so I don't really have anything going on with that. So that's how you make the mana tablet, that's how you use it, but I have a creative mana tablet for demonstrator purposes in this tutorial. So let's get ready, and we're going to start with all these. Now I will mention that all of these do require you to have a mana tablet, because they do require all of the well, not all the mana, but a substantial amount of mana, and require mana to work. So the first thing we're going to be going over is this rod. So we're going over the rods. So this one is the Rod of Land. Yes, Rod of the Lands. Okay. So to make the Rod of the Lands, you're going to need a rune of earth, living wood twig, and a piece of dirt. Arranged in this order here will give you the Rod of the Lands. Now, you can see that this little mana bar down here with my cursor, you can see that that has, well, mana filled in it because I have this mana tablet here. If I didn't have this mana tablet, I wouldn't have any mana there. Since I do, I have it there. Now, to use this rod, all you're going to do is just right click, and it's just going to make mana out of thin air. Well, sorry, it's gonna make dirt out of thin air, not mana. That'd be great. But it just makes dirt, so this is very helpful for building. If you need to get a lake filled or something, or you just need a lot of dirt. Mana tablets, Rod of Lands, and there you go. Moving on, we have this right here, which is the Rod of the Highlands. Now, this is kind of like the Rod of the Lands here, except this one, you do need to use that Alpine portal, which I did cover in a other tutorial on Botania. So, to make this one, you are going to need a Rune of Air, your Rod of the Lands, and some pixie dust from the Alpine portal. Arranging it in a structure like this gives you this Rod of the Highlands. I would also mention that this structure is shapeless, so you can do that. And similar to the Rod of the Lands, all you are going to do is, well, the only difference is you can look in the air, and you can just place dirt in the air. Anywhere in the air. Perfect for if a friend is falling and you don't want him to get down, just done. Moving on to the next rod. Oops. Over here, this is the Rod of the Terra Firma. So, you're going to want this Pasture Seed. So Pasture Seeds you can actually get by taking grass and throwing it into a mana pool, and you can get a Pasture Seed. Now, we don't really need this seed, but you're going to use a Pasture Seed, and then Rune of Summer. This is Spring, Autumn, Winter, Rod of the Lands, and a Terra Steel Ingot. all arranged in a formation like this. Summer comes first, spring comes next, autumn, winter, and your pasture seed. Now, I don't know if you... Nope, it has to be in that order. So summer, spring, autumn, winter. So you get the rod of the Terra Firma. Now this one I kind of have trouble using sometimes, but essentially what you're going to do is you're going to stand in this area. If you hold it, it doesn't work at below sea level, so this is sea level here. Go down here, it's not going to work very well. So you're just going to stand here, and it's just going to start clearing everything here. Now this uses a lot of mana. A lot of mana. And also if I do go into the ground here, if my game loads, my computer's not very fast, you can actually clear some land if I do this correctly. Yeah. You can clear land in a pretty big area. It flattens it out. Very, very large and fills it in also. It doesn't go over these windy gardens though, which... But it'll fill in, it'll break apart, and you will be left with, well, more land, flattened. Moving on from that, we have this right here, which is the Rod of the Depths. Similar to the Rod of the Lands, this one requires a living wood twig, cobblestone, a rune of water, a rune of fire. The second living wood twig, which I dropped right there. Okay, good to see that I got that all figured out. So arraying it in that, you cannot change those. It has to be water, fire, or fire and water. And you get this Rod of the Depths. And just like the Rod of the lands over there, you can place cobblestone. Can't place it in the air, but you can place cobblestone here. Very nice. Requires mana as usual though. Placing this back onto here, we then move on to this Rod of the Seas. So to make the Rod of the Seas, you're going to need a rune of water, a living wood twig, and a water bottle. Putting it in the structure here gives you the Rod of the Seas, and with mana, you can make water. You can also fill up your petal apothecaries with it too, so that's nice. And then moving on to this rod over here, which is the Rod of the Skies. This rod's very, very cool actually. I'll show you what it does. So, rune of air, living wood twig, and a feather. Put it in this section here. Gives you the Rod of the Skies. So again, that's a rune of air, a living wood twig, and a feather. You get the Rod of the Skies, and you fly. It gives you a temporary fall resistance. However, I will mention that this fall resistance, once it recharges on that little bar down here, once that fully recharges, so there, right here, I just lost all ability to fall properly. So you actually need to be kind of careful with this, because if you jump off of a high structure that's a little too high, like say if I jumped off of something a little taller than this, maybe like one of those trees over there, definitely, I would not have the safe falling effect. However, this does work if you're trying to get around to somewhere like an area that's like above here and you just need to jump up to that. So that is the Rod of the Skies. Moving on, we have the Rod of the Hells. So to make this, it's a rune of fire, a living wood twig, and some blaze powder. So making it like this, you have this Rod of the Hells. And actually I have a little chest here because I need to show you what it does. So moving away from the sheep here, we're going to place a pillager. And we don't like this pillager very much. He burned an orphanage. Alright, anyway, so we're going to place that there, and this bitch is going to shoot at me. But yeah, I got a Rod of fire. I got a Rod of the Hells here. He's going to burn. Now the bad thing is, if you walk in that, you yourself will burn, which that's not good. However, this guy is going to burn, and after a little bit, that is going to wear out. That is the Rod of the Hells, and my game is not working very well. So that is the Rod of the Hells. It also has a cooldown here before you can use it again. So I'm just going to put that back there. Next one we have, this one's a very cool one. This is the Rod of Plentiful Mana. Just had to let my computer know that we can't have nice things sometimes. So anyway, the Plentiful Mantle Rod here. To make this, it's going to be 4 living wood twigs and a mana diamond. Placed in like that, you get this Rod of Plentiful Mantle. Now this is a very cool rod, as if you aim at the ground and you right click, those are ores. So let's if my computer decides to load, we can go into creative and I can show you that down here. Let's see, so there's one that's right around, oh, lost it. Don't worry, I can just find it again. But over here, you see that blue? That is, yep, copper. So that just leads you to different ores. It's a very nice tool to have. Very expensive though, very, very expensive with mana. But we will put that back. Moving on to the next one over here, we have the Rod of the Molten Core. So, to make the Rod of the Molten Core, you're going to need 2 living wood twig, 2 blaze rods, and a rune of fire, and put it in like this, and you have yourself a Rod of the Molten Core. Now, this one is a very neat item if you don't have time, so to do or to use it, you have to have the mana tablet, of course, and if you right click something like sand, it'll give particles, and you have to hold it. And I'll give you glass. Cobblestone, hold it. Stone, smooth stone. You can't go any further than that. Sadly though, iron, that doesn't work. It can do cobblestone, I believe sandstone also, because you can, anything that you could put in a furnace, it can do except for ores and wood, because that doesn't have any block variation of burnt wood. Moving on here, this is the Shifting Crust wand here. So to make this, you can use any type of stone, so cobblestone, stone. If you're playing with any mods that have a stone, you can use that. 2 living wood twigs and a rune of sloth. Now to do this, you're going to place it in like that, and this is the Rod of the Shifting Crust. Now this one's kind of interesting, but I also sometimes have trouble using it. So this one here, let's place down sandstone and we're going to right click it. So it has a little GUI here, kind of like a Thaumcraft, you know, using Valen from 𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗's thing. That's where I found out most of this information anyway. But to use this, if you have, say, some sandstone there, and you want to create an area, you have to have the full amount of sandstone, but you're just going to right click the ground here, and it's just going to give you an array of the sandstone to use. However, if I was in creative mode and I click the sandstone here, see that it's selected, and I have an infinite amount, I can just right click here, and it's all going to do that. This is very helpful if you're trying to make floors or something. And once again, just doing this. You can even go underwater, and you can just go along, and as long as you have all the sandstone or any type of block really in your inventory that you can use to place down, you can do it like this. I'd say this would be the best for like mushroom islands when you have to replace all the mycelium with grass. I say that that is probably the best thing that you can use this for. However, moving on to the next rod, we have something that's, creative again. We have something that is very expensive. This is the Rod of the Bifrost. So, to do this, you're needing elementium, pixie dust, dragonstone, and you get the Rod of the Bifrost. you create a bridge block. Kind of underwhelming for the cost, and it has a very long cooldown, but you know, you get a cool block here, I guess. And then you can take it away, and then you can put it back. I don't know exactly what this Bifrost one actually does. All I know is that it places down these blocks here. There isn't much that I saw about it. Moving on to the next one. This you're also going to need the Alpine Portal again. It's going to do, well, 3 Dreamwood Twig, some Dragonstone, and wheat. And you get the Rod of Shaded Mesa. So with the Rod of Shaded Mesa, you can go over here, and we got a chicken here. If you hold shift and you right click it, you can bring this dude up, you can bring him down, you can bring him back up again, you can launch him. So left click to launch, shift and right to hold them, you can bring them up, and then if you don't feel like having them anymore, you just left click, launch them. Cool. And finally, this one, we haven't covered these 𝙤𝙬 or Gaia spirits. So this one isn't really supposed to be in this tutorial, however I did want to add it because it's pretty fucking cool. So we're going to put these in here, the Gaia spirits, the Dreamwood Twig, and the Dragonstone. I'm missing something, aren't I? Yes. Again, with the Dreamwood, I'm always dropping stuff. But if you put it in like this, you get this Rod of Unstable Reservoir. And you know, good thing it's turning night. And good thing I got a lot of pillagers here because, well, I don't like pillagers, you see. And there's a big swarm of them chasing after you. Hey, bitch! Eat shit. All of you, eat shit. Wanna try shooting at me? I fight back. But that is all of the ones here. I'm sorry if there were a couple interruptions in this video. I need to get a more powerful computer soon. I just don't have the resources to do that. But this was the one tutorial, so thank you all so much for watching. I want to get back into this series here, so I hope that you all have a fantastic day, and I hope to be making more of these tutorial videos and actually more videos like this. And, oh shit, that's a phantom. I should have grabbed the wand. But anyway, before I cease by this phantom, have a great day everyone, and I'll see you all soon.